Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to do unit number 7. The title of the unit is Choice of Career. First of all, I would like to go through the summary of this unit according to the paragraphs. In the first paragraph, we come to know that what this unit is about. It is a letter by an official of the Career Information and Assessment Center of the University of Peshawar to a student. The student has asked for guidance in the choice of career, and this letter is a reply. The counselor advises the student that he should make the choice himself. He tells him that we spend 25% of our time in job. This is approximately 11.5 years out of the 35 years that we work as a professional before we get retired. Some people are lucky enough to get the jobs that they desire, but in most situations, this is not the case. People choose a career which they do not like and thus end up being unhappy and dissatisfied with their job. So, what this career counselor is trying to tell the student is that the choice of career is the decision which the student himself has to make. And the right choice of a career can lead to a very happy life, and a wrong choice of a career can make you unhappy, because most of our life, approximately 35 years of our life, we spend working in some organization. So, in order to spend that time fruitfully and happily, we have to make a careful choice of the profession. In the second paragraph and the third paragraph, what the counselor is trying to tell the student is that what are the steps that he has to take in order to make a choice of a career. So he says in paragraph second and the third, he tells him that the first step in the choice of career is self assessment and retrospection. By self assessment, it means to find out about yourself. In the case of career choice, we should be able to know our likes and dislikes. That is, what do we like and what we do not like. That is very important to find out. Retrospection means looking back. We should learn from our past and make necessary corrections of our mistakes. It also means reflection, that is, to reflect, to think over, to give time to the choice of career while we are making a decision. When we are able to assess what we like and what we dislike, we can decide which profession is better for us. If we are enjoying what we are doing, we can easily say that we are on the right path. In the fourth paragraph, the counselor is again trying to guide the student. He says that once you have identified your interests, then you should start looking for professions related to your interest. For example, if you like children or reading, then a career in education or library science would be of your interest. In paragraph number 5, he says that after the identification of your interests, you should identify the education, knowledge, and skills required for the careers. The certificate, diploma, and degree required for the career should be acquired by you. So, the career counselor is telling the student that once he self assesses himself, once he knows that what are his likes and what are his dislikes, then he should try to find out the professions which he likes, which cater to his likes, and he should then choose such kind of profession. Then what should he do is that in the next step, that after the identification of his interests, and after the identification of the profession that match his interest, then he should try to find out that what kind of education, what kind of skills does he need in order to enter that profession. In paragraph number 6, he is trying to tell the student that factors other than his personal interest should also be considered. That is, demand of the career in the society. If the demand is low, what are the risks in the choice of such a career? The effect of this choice on you and others in your life. If the entry is difficult, what is the additional education or training required? Now, this needs a little bit of further explanation that when you are trying to choose a career and you have now found out your interest and you have found out the background knowledge of the education that you require in order to enter that profession, you should also focus your attention that what is the demand of this profession in the society. Are you going to get options? Are you going to get opportunities to enter this profession? And if, for example, uh, let me give you an example that most of the students, they go for medical and engineering profession. Now we all know that there is a lot of competition there, and once you enter into the medical or engineering university, there isn't any guarantee that once you have graduated are you going to get a job there, because of again the demand in jobs. So most of the students end up disappointed because they do not get proper jobs. So the demand of a certain career in the society is a very important factor. For example, you might be interested in painting, and you have got the skills, that means you have got the degree, and you have acquired all the education related to that. But you have to keep in mind that what is the opportunity that you are going to get practically. Is a career in painting going to financially help you properly? Is it going to is this choice of the career going to affect others in your life? Because once you are a mature person, you have to of course support your family. You have to enter practical life, and for both ends to meet, you need a proper career. So you have to focus this thing also, that is this career going to give you enough money to run the affairs of life? So these are the things that you have to keep in mind. And then if the entry is difficult, entry means that entering into a professional university or a professional college, which is going to finally take you to the that profession. Is the entry easy or difficult? We have seen such cases in the again medical and engineering universities. We have seen in other fields also, and that the entry test, it demands a lot from the student, and the student has to come up to the requirement or come up to the eligibility criteria of that entry test. So there's a lot of competition, so you have to keep in mind all these factors. In this paragraph, again the career counselor is giving you a career action plan, and he says that if you have been able to choose a career practically and realistically, then career action plan should be created. Now, what is meant by career action plan? Make timelines and set goals for yourself. Now, for example, you should be very clear that how many years are going to take to complete a certain kind of a degree in order to enter the profession of your interest. So you have to keep in mind the years, And according to that, you have to plan yourself, and you have to set your targets, and you have to set your goals accordingly. Daydreaming and setting unrealistic targets will take you away from your choice of a career. So you should not be daydreaming, you should not be like setting unrealistic targets. If a degree has to be finished in 4 years, you can't finish it in 3 years. So you have to keep these things in mind. Then you have to write down specific action steps that you would take to achieve your goals. Now, what assistance do you need? If, for example, the degree is expensive, do you need financial assistance? And if you need financial assistance, what are the offers that are there? Probably being offered by the university or by other like NGOs which offer scholarships to the students. So these are the things that you have to like keep in mind, and you have to be very specific, and you have to do a lot of research while going for going for your dream career. So these all steps, what are they going to do? They will keep you organized. And once at every step of your like or you can say that you can compare it to a ladder. You are climbing a ladder step by step, and to achieve your dream. So at every step, when you take that step, you should check that I have completed that. If you have, for example, like you have completed a semester, and you haven't scored proper GPA, you should now keep it in mind that at the next step you have to put in a lot of effort in order to like come up to the mark. Then you can change your plans according to the situation, as your priorities may change. Again, some of the students, and you might have seen this in life as well, that some of the students, after getting a degree in medicine or engineering, they do not end up joining those careers. And the reason being is that probably they don't get the jobs that they have dreamt. So they change their line. They might go to other fields. They might join civil services. They might enter the competitive exam, and they might go to civil services. So this is again according to your priorities. You can, or sometimes this also happens that out of like financial setback, some students might change their uh, profession, or they might change their choice of career at the during the middle of their degrees. So these all factors have to be kept in mind. Now I would like to discuss the question answers with you. The first question is, what is the dominant theme of the letter? The dominant theme of the letter is choice of a career. The career counselor is advising the student about choosing a career. He is informing him about the steps that are required to find out the most suitable career for oneself. The second question, why doesn't the career expert mention any specific profession as career? The career expert doesn't mention any specific career because he tells the student that as it is an important decision of life, so the student should decide it himself. He should reflect and find out about his interests himself. When he would be able to assess his likes, then it would be easier for him to choose his career. The third question, why is the decision of choice of career considered the toughest? Give examples from the text of the letter. The choice of career is considered to be the toughest decision because most people do not choose the career according to their interests. They choose a career because it is secure and pays well, but in the end, they are unhappy. One has to be very pragmatic and wise to choose the best career for himself. Question number 4, what is self assessment? How far is it helpful in the choice of career? Self assessment means to know yourself. It means to find out about your likes and dislikes. It helps in the choice of career because when we are able to find out about our fields of interest, then we can easily decide which career to choose. Now the last question and the or you can say the fifth and the sixth question, they approximately have the same kind of like answer. So what I have done here is that I have given you a kind of a, you can say, flow chart to tell you about the process of career choice, or you can say the action plan. So on the first step is self assessment, and by self assessment what you mean is to know your likes and dislikes. Second step, search for careers. Look for careers of your interest. Step 3, education and skills. Find out about educational qualification needed for the career. And step 4 is to make a career action plan. Set realistic goals to achieve the career. So that is, you can say, the summary of, or you can say the main idea or of this lesson. It has been summarized in the form of a flow chart, and the career counselor here is giving a very wise and pragmatic kind of an advice to the student that what should he do in order to find a suitable career for himself. And you as students should follow the advice of this counselor, because this is very important, because most of the students, they do not know about different careers, and they're not clear that what is their final destination going to be. So they end up lost, they end up in confusion, and finally when they graduate from the universities, and they realize that the degrees that they have been pursuing are the degrees which are worthless, and they are not going to give them the dream career which they had been probably dreaming throughout their lives. Thank you so much.